So you're looking to live somewhere in Central Florida with access to healthcare, employment, and entertainment? Well, this community just might be the one for you. Let's check it out. So let's talk about St. Cloud, Florida. So the population, according to the census a few years ago, 62,000 people in St. Cloud. Around the same time, in Kissimmee, right next door, it was 79,000 people. And in Orlando, you had over 300,000 people. So you still have a pretty nice area where it's not as populated as the nearby cities, and it's still up and coming. There's a bunch of stuff to do in St. Cloud, Florida. So you have the St. Cloud Lakefront Park, which is right next to the Dan Terrell Memorial Point. So you can get like the splash pad there, a little playground there, a little volleyball, kind of like a little beach scene going on. You could put your boat out there as well and get some seafood right there. And then you have, not too far away, a few minutes from there, Lake Runnymede Conservation. You can go hiking, walk the dog, get lost there in the forest. Then if you drive like 10 or 15 minutes in the other direction, you got Reptile World. They got these turtles, these alligators, they got these iguanas, all types of reptiles. Super cool if you're into that. But what happens is if you go a little bit east, you're then in downtown St. Cloud, where you can walk around. They have the coffee shops, the restaurants, the typical downtown scene. So that's pretty cool as well. Then they built right on the Kissimmee border of St. Cloud, nice little plaza there, where you're gonna have access to the Hobby Lobby. You have the Marshalls there, Zaxby's, Outback. They have a Spectrum. They got a Five Below. They got so many stores there, restaurants and stores. And then right down the street from there, you're gonna have the tax collector. That's gonna already be in Kissimmee. So St. Cloud really is growing, and it's bringing together everything that people want in a community. If you find any of this valuable, consider subscribing to this channel, dropping a like, and dropping a comment where you're watching from. Now let's talk about the community. So we got two floor plans to talk about, which is the Jasmine and the Marigold plans, which are going to be both in the video. And you have one that's 1373 square feet and one that's 1553 square feet. Now, when you're buying a property, sometimes first-time home buyers don't know this, but there's going to be property taxes and homeowners insurance. So when you're buying a new construction, the taxes usually are going to be on the piece of land itself, so they're not going to be correct. What's going to happen is, with a good lender and a good builder and a good title company, they'll usually estimate what the taxes should be so that they'll, charge you the right amount every month, because in about a year, your taxes will reassess and then they'll, be more normal to the area. Now, you may qualify for certain exemptions like the homestead exemption if you're going to use it as your primary residence. And there's other exemptions out there as well, so reach out to the tax collector for any of those questions. And then you want to make sure you find some homeowners insurance. And what happens with the homeowners insurance, it's considered a prepaid in your closing costs. So they'll charge up front for the whole year, and then they'll basically charge you a monthly fee for the next year. They're gonna basically escrow the insurance and the taxes together in your monthly mortgage payment, and they're gonna create like a small savings account, and then they'll use that once a year to pay the tax collector and the insurance folks. So the taxes and insurance will be put into your mortgage. Now let's talk about some down payment options. When you're buying a property, there's different programs out there and different loan options. So one of the more traditional ones is like a 3.5% down payment with like an FHA, or a conventional 5% down. Now with both those options, you're still gonna have mortgage insurance until you put like 20% down. I'm not a lender, so it's recommended you talk to a lender to get the best breakdown of this. But when we talk about buying a property, there's down payment and there's closing costs. So with the closing costs, you want to estimate 3 to 5%. So what I'll do is I'll basically take the 3.5% of like the down payment and then like a 4% for closing costs, which will be about 7.5%. And if we were to take, let's just take a random sales price of like $350,000 and we estimated 7.5%, you basically need about like $26,000 more or less between your down payment and your closing costs. Now this is where a realtor comes in to help you. Our job is to find you a deal. So what we'll try to do is figure out what incentives the builder is going to have, usually with their preferred lender, to get you some sort of closing cost help. Most builders have different, incentives when it comes to using their preferred lender, and they also have potentially reduced interest rates. So you could double dip, getting a better interest rate than the resale market, as well as getting some closing costs. So that's why it's always better to go with new construction if it's in the area of where you're looking. I don't recommend you go out an hour away, just to find a new construction if it's not in the area you want to live. But if you're looking in the area and about a few miles down, the road, there's new construction, I always recommend let's take a good look at it, because we're always going to get the best deals there, and you're going to get warranties and everything brand new. Now, in this community, let's talk about the prices. So the prices in this community are starting in the low 300s. At the time of this video, $328,000. So now let's take a quick tour of this home and let me know what you think. These are the townhomes at Anthem Park in St. Cloud, Florida. So they offer low maintenance lifestyle for on-the-go home buyers. You are conveniently located near schools and major roadways. These townhomes are going to feature 3 beds, 2.5 baths, 2 stories, and a 1-car garage. They have the Taylor Morrison LiveSmart features, including smart technology and energy efficient products. This community is part of the Anthem Park Master Plan community in St. Cloud, Florida, where D.R. Horton also built some single family homes. I think it was back in 2014 if I'm not mistaken. You'll have quick access to Florida Turnpike, Narcoossee Road, and US 192, as well as Lake Nona is right down the street. There's going to be nearby grocery stores, retail shopping centers as well, and entertainment. You're close to golf courses, the Lakefront Park, and all of the Orlando attractions. The community amenities are going to include a pool, the fitness center, and sports courts. This community is zoned for highly rated Osceola County schools with walking distance to Neptune Elementary. Let me know what you think of this tour.